Hot yoga's awkward pose. Let's strengthen the quads, the back, the arms in this amazing isometric exercise. Let's dive into this baby. So we're going to tutorial awkward pose with senior Barkan teacher Elena. So there's 3 parts. And it's all about strengthening. This is the most isometric pose, like I said in the beginning. But first, understanding the bandhas. The mula bandhas at the perineum. Uddiyana bandhas at the pit of the belly. The Jalandhara bandha, which is not part of this pose, is the throat lock. That's the 3rd bandha. But you want to make sure that the mula and the Uddiyana bandhas are strong, lifted up and in. So, mula Uddiyana, that's the core. We're going to make sure that's up and strong and lifted. So Elena's going to first start with the feet together. And in our style of yoga, we step out to the right 6 inches, 15.24 centimeters if you're outside of the United States, 2 fist widths apart, measure those feet, and back up she goes. So that's how you know you're in the perfect position, hip width apart, but I'm gonna have Elena face this way for this example. Now in our style of yoga, we have 3 parts to the awkward pose. Other styles of yoga, their awkward pose looks like this. A little different alignment, same name, but we have 3 different parts. So Elena's gonna bring her arms up, arm shoulder height, shoulder width. If Elena lifts her shoulders up in the air, and bring her arms up and down, they're completely separated from the shoulders. Or she drops her shoulders down, her arms can lift up separate from the shoulders. So in this case, we're gonna drop the shoulders down, keep the arms right here at this parallel level. We're gonna hold the core, and we're gonna take a deep breath. I want you to check out this video on how to time your breath properly, because it's so important. So she's gonna breathe in through the back of the throat, the Ujjayi breath, and she's going to sit down like she's sitting on a chair. Some yoga styles call this chair pose. Now you're going to have to go forward to release the hinge of the hips to allow you to go lower. Now there's really no modification for the first part. In fact, it's really a good modification for the 3rd part to do the first part again. So I want Elena to come up for a second. Some of you aren't going to get down as low. You're going to go maybe halfway, maybe quarter of the way. You're going to try to get down as low as you can to eventually the thighs are parallel to the floor. Now here's something that's very important that I teach differently than Bikram does now, but not what Bikram used to do. You're going to turn the tailbone down. It's what we call the scoop of the tailbone, lifting from the chest to bring the upper body backward more. Before I show you the second part, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You want to learn all about hot yoga. If you have any questions or frustrations to this post, put them down in the comments. I get to all the comments. And one thing that I learned from Bikram's brother Buddha, who taught in Tokyo for many more years than I did, and I was 39 years, he said, lift your toes off the floor to check that the weight's on the heels, but your arms are reaching forward at the same time, stomach in, nice and strong. I'll have Elena come back up for a second. One of my students was actually on the 4th floor balcony in her Florida condominium, and she's leaning against the balcony, and the balcony breaks, and she goes right into the first part, awkward pose, and saved her life. So this posture can save your life, you never know.
That's a true story.
Now the tendency, you want to think that you're trying to bring the arch in the lower back to get your upper body back, but you're arching the middle back. The lower back has to turn down. That's how we're protecting the sacrum. I want you to look at this picture of Bikram doing awkward pose a long time ago when he was really young. Look how his tailbone is scooped. That's how we widen the sacrum and lengthen the spine and protect the lower back. If you're arching your lower back, you may be having lower back problems. Turn that tailbone down. So here Elena goes once again in the first part. She drops her shoulders, lifts from the chest, tailbone under to protect the lower back, and then eventually trying to get the back as straight as you can. Most people on the planet can't do that. Bikram was a little close, but not quite there. But that's the ideal position. We've magically turned to the front. So we're keeping the knees apart, and that's how we're going to work the inner thighs. That's how we're going to strengthen those legs. Dropping the shoulders, lifting from the chest so you can see the front side. And I'm going to have Elena come up for a second. And we want to make sure that the wrists and the arms are in a straight line position. You don't want to cup your hands or bend your wrists. Make your arms and your wrists and your hands an extension of themselves. Straight out to the side. No bending, straight line. Now we've magically turned back this way. We're going to do the second part of the awkward pose, and it runs together. So her arms are already up. Now she's going to come up on her toes as high as she possibly can. That's the key. You got to get these way up there. Get those heels up. Holds that core, Mula Uddiyana. Inhale, and as she exhales just a little bit, she comes down and a straight back just before the hips go below the knees. She's going to hold the core, get way up on those toes. Back is straight, stomach in. Now, a lot of people in this second part, they can't go down with a straight back, especially if you have really wide hips. And this is more tends toward the female anatomy where the hips are turned out. Men's are square. This is one posture that men actually have an advantage. one of the very few that men have an advantage of. So if your hips are turned out, a lot of you aren't going to be able to go down with a straight back. So here we go. Let's imagine, because Elena can do it, so she's going to go up on her toes. Let's imagine she can't quite get down, so she's going to have to go forward a little bit. Now she can lower down, like the first part, because it really unhinges the hips, creates a hinge in the hips. And now from there, bring your body back. So once again, you can go a little further at first, then bring your body back, drop your shoulders, get way up on those toes, hold the core. Magically turn to the front again. So here you can see that Elena's hips are just above her knees. I don't want the thighs parallel to the floor. This is a difference between Bikram and Barkan. By keeping the hips a little bit above the knees, she's strengthening and engaging the core muscles. I'm gonna have Elena go all the way down now. If she's parallel, she's no longer contracting those quadricep muscles. Have her come back up again before she dies. So as soon as you go to parallel position, you're no longer engaging those quadricep muscles. Keep those quadricep muscles engaged by keeping the hips just a little bit above the knees in second part awkward pose. Really important. And there's really no modification for the second part either. In fact, you may want to do the second part twice if you need to modify for the third part, which we're going to go over in a second. But you may not be able to go down as far. So once again, second part, Elena, she goes up on her toes, holds the core. Maybe you have to go forward a little bit. Down she goes. And that might be as far as you can go. I'd rather you be here, holding it the best you can, keeping those quadricep muscles engaged and the core. Come back up for a second. And you're still going to strengthen all those areas. Even if you can't get down to the full ideal position, it's still an amazing core strengthening pose. Bringing us to the third part, the final stage of the awkward pose. And the modification is, if you have extreme knee issues, don't do it. Do the second part twice, and maybe do the first part twice. Maybe you can alternate in days, but don't do it if you have extreme knee issues. But sometimes people with knee issues, they're not extreme knee issues, they still may be able to do it. So here's a great modification. She's going to bring her arms up on her toes a little bit on the third part. Knees come together, and she can go forward and touch her hands to the mat, her hands to the floor in front of her. By touching her hands to the floor in front of her, she can get down with support. Then she can bring one arm up and then the other, and then she can find the perfect position. Now she's going to come up the same way. Hands back onto the floor, and slowly she comes up. You can even bring your hands on your thighs to come up a little bit too. And that's going to be a great modification to use. Hands on the floor is going to take the pressure off the knees. I'm going to show you the modification from the side angle. So here, once again, Elena's go up on her toes a little bit, knees come together, and she can come forward and touch her hands on the floor in front of her. Yes, now that takes the pressure off her knees, and that gives her support psychologically as much as physically. One hand up, then the other hand comes up, and then she can bring her body back to her nice hinged position. Very nice. Third part awkward pose, modification. Third part awkward pose, you don't need the modification. Your arms should already be up there. You're going to hold the core, come on your toes a little bit, knees come together, and nice and slow, you're going to lower yourself down. Imagine I tied a string to the top of your head. As I'm pulling the string up, she's lowering down, and she's going to stop just before her hips touch the heels. Keep the core nice and strong. Look how beautifully she went down in this position. And now we're going to talk about perfect alignment now that we're here. Now in the old days, we used to sit under heels. Go look at Bikram's first book and you'll see that was the old days, sitting all the way on the heels. He changed that back in the mid-'80s. Julia Prowse, who's on the cover of Bikram's first book, said, let's bring our hips a little bit off the heels. That's going to strengthen our legs. And let's come up nice and slow in this position. Nice and slow up and nice and slow down. And that's going to give us more core strength, more quadricep strength, more inner thigh strength. So sitting on the heels was actually what Vishnu Ghosh taught. Bikram then changed it later on in the 1980s. So now that we're in the full position, we want our arms parallel and our thighs parallel. In the Bikram world, they tell you to point your knees down toward the floor. Do that a little bit. But they really weren't talking about knees down to the floor for the average person. They're talking if the knees were too high. So if Elena's knees are too high, then she wants to point her knees down to the floor, but till the thighs are parallel, because Bikram also said, arms and legs like a box from the side. If your knees are pointing down, you're no longer in a box. That's a parallel position. So that sort of got misunderstood over time. Your knees do not come down past parallel. If you're in a parallel position, look at Bikram's first book again and you will see what I'm talking about. Now many people have struggled with the third part awkward pose and they really don't understand how to keep their back straight and keep that hinge of that hips happening. So beginners struggle with it, and as teachers, here's something you can do to help them. If you're a teacher or if you're a beginning person, you can see what I mean. So she's going to come up on her toes, third part. And what happens is the body comes really far forward because they're trying to hold on to each other. They come down and their knees stick up in the air, way high, as the body comes forward. Bring your knees way up in the air. Yeah. So what you want to do as a teacher, you can gently place your hands at their shoulders and tell her to bring her upper body back and her knees down. There's again the knees down again. There's that knee down thing again. So once again, up, 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 body back, knees down. That little hinge from here to here actually makes it easier. Holding on too tight when you're here. We want to come back to here, drop those shoulders, and that's the third part awkward pose fix for beginners. It's really an amazing fix. So here are all three parts demonstrated beautifully by Elena. She steps out 6 inches, 15.5 centimeters, arms up, nice and strong. Take a deep breath in and sits down like she's sitting on a chair. Down she goes, tailbone under, upper body back. She can even lift her toes off the floor to check that the weight's on the heels. Inhale, she comes up. Second part, up on those toes as high as you can. You can say like a ballerina. Come straight down on the top of your toes. Just before the hips go below the knees, hold up, stomach in, get way up on the toes, hold here. Change. Third part on your toes a little bit. Knees come together. Once again, nice and slow, like I'm tying a string to the top of your head. Your hips lower down, down, take your time, and you're gonna hover just before the hips touch the heels. Hold here. Take a deep breath in and come up slowly with a straight back. Nice and slow. The right leg comes back to your place, arms down by your side. So that's our episode for today. Thank you so much, Elena, for demonstrating this. I know this is a pretty tough pose to demonstrate. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. You want to learn all about hot yoga. Any questions, comments, frustrations, put them down below. I get to all the comments. And we'll see you the next video. You smiling? You waving? Bye, guys.